Welcome to Sergeant War Dog TV.
Steve Jeans, that's what it is.
All I know is war. All I know is shoot. All I want is more, but I got some things to do. I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. I'm a soldier, I'm a warrior. Got a emblem on my cover. And ask me what I did for ya. I put the trash deep down under. Yeah, I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 5 of the War Dog Trail with the one and only Sergeant War Dog. Welcome to 2020, everyone. First episode of the new year. I want to take time with this episode to go into detail about what Sergeant War Dog TV is, what the War Dog Trail podcast and blog are about, and basically how this all started. As you already know, I am a Grunt Marine Infantry man, Rifleman 0311, Marine Sergeant, 3 tours in Iraq, first day over the war in 2003, once we crossed the border. Again in 04, again in 05. I'm going to stop harping on that. I know you get tired of hearing it over and over. Just try to give you some context so you understand that I have been there on the ground. I am a door kicker. I am a war fighter. I'm the one who kicks in your door and comes in. I'm the one that you might find in your bushes or on a rooftop surveilling you from several hundred yards away. Gratefully, I was able to survive. Go on from there to attend college at UCF in Orlando, Florida, U.S. Central Florida. I majored in international relations and comparative politics, which is within the political science degree track. Before I left active duty with the Marines, while I was also an instructor in their Mojave Viper program at the Marine Air Ground Combat Center in 29 Palms, I also took a course in forensic science from the American Institute of Applied Science. And I was able to gain my certification in that as well, which had always been a big plan of mine from the start. Even before considering speaking to the Marines, I wanted to major in forensic science as a trace evidence examiner working in a crime lab. You know, working with hairs, fibers, soil, question documents, ballistics. I'm sorry, I'm a little out of the realm of out of what a trace examiner would do alone, but anywhere within the field of criminalistics, forensics, that was all me. So I decided early on that I either wanted to earn a degree in forensics from the University of Central Florida in my hometown of Orlando, or attend Eastern Kentucky University, which also had a great program in forensics. I guess the biggest part of the adventure in me had to get out of Orlando, had to see the rest of the world. I mean, how can you not? Our generation, right? We've been informed of so much, had our eyes open to so much. Why not want to treat the world like it's your playground, right, baby? So, I had every intention on attending Eastern Kentucky University. I was accepted in 5 colleges during my senior year of high school. UCF, Florida International University, Morehouse College, Eastern Kentucky University, and Jacksonville State U. Now, of those, 3 happen to be out of state, the state of Florida. But as any student knows, once you leave your state, you're gonna incur those out-of-state student fees as far as admissions. So what I did was, I had not only been accepted into UCF, I was also interviewed later and accepted into their Lead Scholars program, which is, basically like their honors program for undergrads. After that acceptance, I finally did take a tour of Eastern Kentucky U on my own. Happened to be working as a stockman at Kmart at the time. After I'd get out of high school, I took a few days off, saved up, bought myself a Greyhound ticket, and, let my mother know, let my family know what I was doing. Got myself a hotel room and made the ride up to Kentucky on my own, man. So since I was 18, I've been all about getting out, doing my own thing, man. Not in a rebellious way, just in a way that I knew I was going to take a different path. I knew there's things that I needed to see and needed to do. Whether it was from a Marine perspective, because at the time I was only considering going into the Marines as a reservist. And back then I was actually thinking of becoming an MP, man, military police. Only because it would all fall back into helping me with the forensic science field and whatnot. But I took that trip up to EKU. Got to meet the great forensic science director there. Brought back some souvenirs from the forensics program. And I was just excited, man, that, I knew where I was going. I knew what I was going to do. I was ready to continue that plan. Let's see. Now, somewhere along the way, even though I still had the in-state options to go to UCF and their in-state, in their Lead Scholars program, I was also, like I said, accepted into Florida International U, a little further down south, closer to the Miami area, Fort Lauderdale or so. I was going to be able to go to FIU for free also, thanks to the few academic scholarships, namely the Florida Bright Future Scholarship, which ended up playing a very big role in helping me after my active duty time, because I didn't know that they actually honored your military service. So if you showed them your DD-214 after your service ended, you could still get access to the scholarship that you were awarded while you were in high school. But continuing on, long story short, EKU accepted me into their forensics program. But as an out-of-state student, I was not given priority for academic scholarships, because those went to the in-state students. So once I got that, letter telling me that my scholarship options were going to be limited to go out of state, that's when I locked in on the Marines and I knew what I needed to do. And since at the time forensics was going to be put on hold, postponed, I decided I didn't want to just be a reservist, man. I want to be full-time, baby. Active duty, all day, every day. Living the Marine life, traveling the world. So, the next step was to decide to change from the MP field, military police, to straight infantry, baby. Because I wanted to go from the infantry to recon and on the force recon. Can't explain to you how much, the whole aspect of being a grunt, being on the ground, patrolling, learning survival techniques, learning self-defense, weapons, traveling, meeting great, fellas from across the country. So, that was it. I let the recruiter know that I was ready to go full-time active duty, that I wanted to now become a grunt. And we set off on that journey. Headed down to MEPS, which MEPS is the Military Entrance Processing Station down in Tampa, Florida. Was taken down there, took my ASVAB. I scored a 90 on the ASVAB. So immediately the recruiter tried to get me to choose other fields besides the infantry, because the grunts don't require very high ASVAB score, or at least they didn't at the time back in 2002. So he tried to sell me on a bunch of other options, telling me things I've had security clearances for, etc., but he couldn't push me off that infantry option, baby, that 03 field. That's me, all day, every day. Always been down with manhunting, SWAT teams, special ops. That's always been my thing. And once I hit age 17, I knew that that's, where I fit. That's where a person of my mold would most be effectively used and be able to serve society the best as a productive citizen. Oh, as I told you back in episode 1, graduated high school in May of 2002. And within 3 weeks of that graduation, baby, a recruiter came by my house, knocked on the door, and I was working late nights back then, so I guess I didn't hear his knock from my upstairs bedroom. But he left the door telling me he had an opening in boot camp right then and there. I didn't need to wait 2 or 3 more months and not head in until August. That he had an opening and that he'd be back at a certain time to pick me up, because I was headed out to boot camp that day. Hey, I told you, man, after finding out that news about EKU, I was kind of stuck in limbo as far as not wanting to stay in state and wanted to explore my other options in life, man, and the world. So, I saw his letter. I immediately notified my parents, what was coming, what happened. Went to Kmart, cashed my last check. It was about, $375, $380 or so. I kept $20, gave the rest to my mom. Let the recruiter know I was ready. He came by my house, picked me up with 2 other buddies of mine that I knew from high school. And we all headed back down to the MEPS, down to Tampa, so that we could begin the process of the Marine life. All right, this is the end of episode 5 of the War Dog Trail. Salute, baby.